Hi, welcome to the channel once again. This is your boy, and I'm about to tell you about how to grow food. A lot of people don't know how to do it. It could be microgreens, tomato plants, anything, but I'm just going to show you the concept of growing. So if you ever want to grow plants for your own personal needs or your own business idea, this is how you do it. Quick tutorial. I learned how to do this in 2 weeks, and the results have been phenomenal. I'm going to show you too and pass on the knowledge. First things first is you want to germinate the seeds. It's going to take 2 days probably. You got to put them in water and put them in a dark place. I typically tend to put my seeds in a cabinet in a glass with water, and you want to make them expand and spawn like little tiny tails, and then put them in the soil like so. I already had some ready, and this is what they should be looking like, having little tails. And once you have those little tails, make sure they're not dry for too long. You really want to make sure timing is important. Again, I'm learning all of this in real time too. I'm going to develop new techniques as I go, but right now I'm using hydroplane. You could use any type of tray you want. This is where I could put water on the bottom to feed the plants. You could take away that top tray and just use straight up soil. It's all a personal preference. I'm not an expert. I'm still learning, so please make the decision that's right for you at the end of the day, because that's what I really want. You're going to want to spread the seeds very evenly, and you don't have to do too many, but you want enough to where it goes, at least if you're using the trays I were, in between those little holes, so it could spawn some roots that get a lot of water when you put the water in between. And then I use coconut coir or soil. I use this because it retains water, so I have to water my plants a lot less. I also, a tip I should give you guys is when you're using this type of soil, do not water it too much because it retains water and you don't want to drown your plants. Plants also need air just like they need water. They are living organisms and oxygen is very important to them. But spread the soil out. I usually dampen it just so I could get the first watering done, and then I wait to see how long the soil changes, to see how the seeds are doing with their watering. I'm just spreading the soil very evenly, making sure it has enough to where it can retain some water and keep the plants hydrated as they grow, because you really do want to make sure that those roots that are coming out are getting wet, because those roots are going to find a way. It's going to find a way to grow. It's going to find a way to sprout. The seeds are actually a lot smarter than I originally anticipated. I'm going to find out some more things as I continue going, but this is just what I know so far. Again, there's other channels that are a lot more experienced that you could also learn from too, as I gain experience from them. So please shop around for the knowledge. I'm still learning this, but I want to make content as I'm doing these things. I'm not an expert again, but this is just what's been helping me and what's been working out so far, and you're going to see some results. See, I have this soil all wet and damp, and then I have a room that actually has a lot of sunlight in it, and then it goes down a row. So I have pretty much that. Yeah, those are already sprouting, so you can see that I am getting some results. I'm not trying to just half butt this, and those are the plants that are growing the most. That took me about a week to get, so be patient with any plant you're doing. These are microgreens, so they have about a week turnover. Other plants are going to have longer turnovers as I explore. But thank you very much for watching my first video. This is how I also keep them watered when I see them getting dry. And you just want to adjust as you go. Once you see the soil starting to get dry, if you don't have water underneath the hydroplane, you got to keep it hydrated, because you want the seeds to be able to stay hydrated, but again, you don't want them to drown at all. But thank you very much for being around to see my first tutorial on how I've been doing this. Food and growing food has been a very widely talked about skill, especially with the times coming up right now. So I think being prepared is number one. Thank you guys very much for joining me.